All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Epic Sports Broadcasting Network for tonight's broadcast of Heartland Championship Wrestling. My name is Dave Little, and we are coming to you live from the Dave Cave with Atlantic Wrestling Federation action from Orlando, Florida. And we have a big night of action in store tonight. A couple of critical number one contenders matches and the Atlantic Wrestling Federation Tag Team Championship. First up, we will see the number one contenders match for the Atlantic Wrestling Federation Championship. The top belt in the Georgia, Florida, North Carolina region. The belt is currently held by Mr. Perfect Kurt Hennig, and one of these two men will be the next challenger for that title. Either Don Morocco or Barry Windham, who is accompanied tonight by James J. Dillon. Also tonight we will see the number one contenders match for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. We've seen Ric Flair defend that belt successfully. His next challenger will be determined right here tonight as Dusty Rhodes takes on Ray the Crippler Stevens. And in our Atlantic Wrestling Federation Tag Team Championship match, it's going to be a doozy as the Road Warriors, Hawk and Animal, will defend the title against Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard representing the Horsemen. It is going to be a big night here in Orlando. Already tonight, prior to the broadcast, the opening contest tonight was the true definition of a slobber knocker, as Ravishing Rick Rude, accompanied by SoCal Val, took on newcomer Jumbo Tsuruta, Japanese star, and they battled all over the place. And Tsuruta dominated much of that contest before SoCal Val got involved and set up Rick Rude for the victory via the Rude Awakening. Tsuruta was not at all happy with that turn of events, and I think we will see those two men hook up again in a grudge match style rematch as Tsuruta wants another piece of Ravishing Rick Rude. Tag team action, we saw Tommy Rich and Tracy Smothers, the wild-eyed Southern boys, pick up the victory over the Heenan family team of Big John Studd and Ken Patera. Teamwork by Rich and Smothers was the key to that match, and it was Tracy Smothers who scored the pin on Patera after the jawjacker. The Destroyer was up next, taking on Diamond Dallas Page. The Destroyer is a legend in the Heartland, and in the predecessor to the Heartland, the old Dayton Wrestling Association crowned the Destroyer as its very first champion some 15 years ago, and he has been a mainstay ever since. He gets the win tonight over Diamond Dallas Page, moving him one step closer to championship gold here in the AWF. And in our last match, it was you can almost call it a squash match, as the Midnight Express, Bobby Eaton and Stan Lane, took apart the team of Stars and Stripes, Marcus and Alexander Bagwell and the Patriot, with Lane picking up the win over the Patriot via the Russian leg sweep. And that brings us to our opening contest of the televised portion of tonight's broadcast, with Barry Windham, accompanied by James J. Dillon, moving out against Don Morocco, with a title shot on the line as we say hello to Big Paulie's World of Sports Sims and SDG Replays live in the chat room tonight. Thank you both for joining us. Hello to both of you, and happy Labor Day weekend to you both. I think we are ready for action as Morocco and Windham square off. These two have gone around more than once in their opportunities to gain a title match, but this is as close as either man has come, and the opening initiative roll is tied. So immediately we are forced to go on behalf of Don Morocco to the Face to the Mat highlight reel book, and we will see what happens in this match. Since we rolled the odd roll, it will be Morocco who goes to the book. And on a 66, that means we go to highlight reel B. So Morocco has something special up his sleeve. And we roll him up again, and it is a 64. Wrestler climbs into TV booth and berates opponent. Increase wrestler's grudge grade by 1 point. We don't play grudge grades here in Legends of Wrestling, but we will give Morocco the advantage for climbing into the TV booth and berating both Barry Windham and James J. Dillon. Dillon not happy at all by the comments from Don Morocco. And we'll give Morocco the start on level 2 offense after that momentum getting going at the opening bell. And the opening move is a surfboard by Morocco as he got Windham from behind, knocked him down to the canvas, and wrapped up both arms in a surfboard. Windham able to get to his feet and escape that, and Windham is going to come back with a punch. Oh, a black glove punch to the side of the head, and that staggers Morocco. Both these men are even in terms of agility and power. So all the moves that are conditional moves will be successful in this match. Morocco has been staggered. Windham is in control. And this time it is Windham with a whip to the turnbuckle. Morocco is a C-rated performer on the turnbuckle, which is as bad as it gets. But on a roll of 3, that's good for Morocco. Morocco bounces forward off the turnbuckle and catches Windham with a skull-splitting running lariat. Windham goes down hard. Windham rolls on level 3 defense. And on a roll of 2, that is a potential pinfall. We've got a count of 1. And on the count of 1, Windham kicks out. But Morocco is in control early after that skull-splitting lariat off of the turnbuckle. Caught Windham by surprise. What's Morocco going to do now? He's going to pass on the death jump, as Windham has an excellent death jump rating, and he's going to go for the over-the-shoulder backbreaker, up and down hard across the shoulder. Here's Morocco. Windham goes down and stays down. He is still stunned from that lariat. Morocco stays in control. Once again bypassing the death jump, and this time a high vertical suplex hanging up in the air. And again he's going to go for the cover. Count of 1. Count of 2, and on a roll of 5 or lower, Windham will be pinned. But James J. Dillon is going to use his first distraction. He's got a distractor rating of 7. And on a roll of 5, he is able to create the distraction, and Windham will not be pinned. James J. Dillon can intervene one more time in this match. But that is a second fatigue token for Windham. Morocco already is out in front in this match and dominating against Barry Windham of the Horsemen. Morocco now, what's he going to do? Slingshot choke on the bottom rope. That looks like that's got to hurt. But Windham is finally able to get up to his feet. Windham now squaring off. And it's going to be another hard punch from Windham with that black glove. I don't know if he's got that thing loaded up, but Morocco has been staggered. And now it is going to be a whip to the ropes. Whip to the ropes. Morocco is a B coming off the ropes. And coming off the ropes with a roll of 10, the result is a running double clothesline. Both men go down. The wrestler with the better ropes rating recovers first. That's Barry Windham. He is an A-rated performer on the ropes. So Windham will take over on level 3 offense. And Steve Tower is in the chat room. Good evening, Steve. Yes, indeed. Brilliant work by J.J. Dillon on the distraction. Keeps things alive for Barry Windham. Windham is now in control and rolling on level 3 offense. And on a roll of 2, Windham is got the opportunity to go for a death jump, but Morocco has an A rating on the death jump, so Windham will roll up at level 2 offense. And this time he just goes with a knee drop. A knee drop into the rib cage of Morocco. Morocco is still down. Windham still in control. Another knee drop. And this time Morocco ducks out of the way of that one. And it is Morocco in control. Morocco goes with a kick to the midsection. Hard kick to the stomach of Windham. Windham is going to fire right back, though, on a level 2 reversal. And it's another whip to the turnbuckle. This didn't work out so good for Windham the first time around, but this time on a roll of 5, it is Morocco who grabs the arm of Windham and reverses that whip to the turnbuckle. It is Windham headed for the turnbuckle. And on a roll of 11, Windham comes off the turnbuckle with a big running lariat, and both men go down. Much as we saw earlier, the wrestler with the better turnbuckle rating recovers first and rolls on level 3 offense. So this exchange goes to Windham. And Windham is once again in control. What's he going to do? He goes for the Sweetwater Superplex. Hoisting Morocco up onto the corner, bringing him off the top turnbuckle, high and hard down into the center of the ring. Windham is going to go for the pinfall. Count of 1. And on the count of 2, Morocco kicks out. And the match continues with Windham in control. Thomas Morgan is here. Hello, Thomas. Welcome to Atlantic Wrestling Federation action. Barry Windham and Don Morocco hooked up in a good one. Windham now holds Morocco up with a delayed vertical suplex and down hard to the canvas. Windham now with a knee drop. Once again, Morocco gets out of the way of that one. And it is Morocco who delivers the falling face slam. He caught Windham and dropped him face first onto the mat. He's going to go for the cover. Count of 1. And Windham kicks out once again, but that is 3 fatigue tokens for Barry Windham. And on the 3rd fatigue token, we no longer do the 3-count pinfall. We will just use the standard pin count formula as the advanced version of the Filsinger Legends of Wrestling game instructs. At this point, with 3 fatigue tokens, James J. Dillon is going to get involved. And we are going to go to the manager interference chart. Where is my manager interference chart? Oh my goodness. One moment, please, as I retrieve the manager interference chart. Just when you think you've got everything together, there's always that one loose chart. Here is the manager interference chart. And this will be the last opportunity James J. Dillon has to intervene in this match. But 3 fatigue tokens is usually the point in the match where I will pull the trigger. And on a roll of 5, your manager jumps onto the ring apron and distracts the referee, breaking the count. Roll disqualification 3. If there is no disqualification, the opponent continues his attack. So the referee is not falling for it. And Morocco is not going to be distracted. There will be no disqualification. Morocco has level 3 offense. And Windham is in big trouble here. The death jump roll, Morocco is going to bypass that. And he is instead going to go for the rolling neck snap. This is a choice roll. And for the better opportunity here is on the agility. This is not a good situation for Morocco. He needs a 6 or lower to hit this rolling neck snap. But on a roll of 3, he gets it. Level 2 move on the offense. But Windham gets the level 2 reversal. And Windham comes back with an attempted inverted atomic drop. He's going to bypass that and instead going to go with the whip to the ropes. On a roll of B6, Windham drops down and Morocco comes off the opposite direction. And on a roll of 10, it is again the running double clothesline roll. Both men go down. Windham's got the better ropes rating. He gets up first. Windham now with an opportunity to do some damage here, and he is going to go for the Blackjack Claw. The Blackjack Claw is on. Will Morocco be forced to submit to this? Count of 1. And he gets away. He gets to the ropes. Does Morocco. And the match continues as Windham is forced to break the Blackjack Claw. And we hook up again. Windham still in control after that. Another high vertical suplex, but this time Morocco blocks it. Morocco got his leg back. And he instead is going to whip Windham into the turnbuckle. Actually, that is a choice B. Windham's a turnbuckle A, so we don't want to do that. We'll try the standing drop kick 2 instead. He'll need a 7 or lower to hit this, but I think that's better than his odds of anything good happening by whipping Windham into the turnbuckle. And on a roll of 9, he is not able to connect on the standing drop kick. Windham sidesteps that move, and it is Windham in control now, and he is going to go for the whip to the turnbuckle. Morocco comes off the turnbuckle, and on a roll of 8, it is a big kick from Windham that smashes into Morocco and puts him down on one knee. Windham follows that up with a whip to the ropes. Morocco comes off to the ropes, and on a roll of 8, it is a big shoulder tackle from Windham. Morocco down again. Windham still in control. And now a big power slam by Barry Windham takes Morocco to the canvas. Windham now taking control. He's going to go for another power slam. And this time Morocco is going to roll out of the ring. Out of the ring we go. Morocco is an A-rated brawler on the arena floor. But on a roll of 8, it is the helpless crawl. Morocco just took a breather out there, was not able to lure Windham out into any fisticuffs on the arena floor, and Morocco has to crawl back into the ring to meet the 10 count. Windham is ready and waiting. And now it's going to be Windham going up for another whip to the ropes. Windham had the opportunity for a death jump there. Morocco was too alert. And so Windham didn't take the chance. Instead, he goes with a whip to the ropes. And on a roll of 9, it is another big kick from Windham that takes Morocco back down to the canvas. Windham follows that up with a knee drop. Windham follows that up with another power slam. Morocco favoring that back now as he's taken a couple of those. Windham follows that up with a drop kick. The drop kick is a choice roll, and he needs a roll of 8 or lower to connect on the drop kick. And on a roll of 8, he hits it. And Morocco is hurt. Good match here tonight between Windham and Morocco. Very competitive. Here comes another drop kick, and he nails another one. And Windham stuns Morocco once again. Windham now with a knee drop. Morocco finally gets to his feet, but Windham is still in charge. And another stiff punch with that black glove. Windham has staggered Morocco a couple of times with that. He hits him again, and this time Morocco blocks it. And Morocco fires back with a back body drop up and down to the canvas. Morocco ducks the attempted punch with the black glove and flipped Windham over with a fireman's carry, and it is Morocco now who has the chance with another kick to the gut, trying to slow down the momentum of Barry Windham. Here's another back body drop by Morocco. This time Windham powers out of that one, and it is Windham who comes back and whips Morocco to the turnbuckle. Whip to the turnbuckle, but on a roll of 4, that's good for Morocco. He lifts a knee to the oncoming opponent's head, and it is Morocco now in control. Back and forth we go. Another over-the-shoulder backbreaker by Morocco. And it is now Windham's turn to be staggered. Morocco follows that up with a falling elbow drop. Morocco, another over-the-shoulder backbreaker. Windham still down. What's he going to do this time? He's going to try that rolling neck snap again. He's going to need a 6 or lower to connect on that. And once again, Windham is able to get out of the way of that one. And it is Windham who comes back with another whip to the turnbuckle. Windham working those turnbuckles frequently. This time on a roll of 6, it is a big kick from Windham that staggers Morocco. And now Morocco is staggering into the ring, and Windham nails him with the West Texas lariats. Morocco staggers back, a hard lariat. Another whip to the turnbuckle. Morocco comes off, and it's another big kick from Windham, keeping the horseman in control. Knee drop from Windham. Morocco still hurt. Another power slam, and this time Morocco rolls out of the ring. Back to the arena floor we go. And on a roll of 10, it is Windham coming out of the ring and smashing Morocco with a steel chair. Are we going to see Windham disqualified? No, we won't. Windham now in control. He took the fight to Morocco on the arena floor. And Windham is now going to go for another high vertical suplex as Morocco comes back in. Followed that up with a power slam. Here's a cover. And Morocco is able to kick out of that one, but he is now at 3 fatigue tokens, and this match is anybody's ball game. Windham follows that up, and he is going to pitch Morocco out of the ring. Surprising strategy from Windham, and he is going to pay the price, as it is Morocco who takes control of the brawl on the arena floor, dragging Windham out of the ring, smashing him into the turnbuckle, and Morocco takes control. The referee's just going to let him fight. Morocco now goes with a slingshot choke on the bottom rope. Windham is hurt. Morocco with an elbow drop. Windham dodges that one, and Windham comes back with an eye gouge. Morocco not very happy about that as Windham goes to the eyes, and now Windham is going to go to the abdominal stretch, weakening Morocco. Morocco will not submit. Another West Texas lariat from Windham puts Morocco down to the canvas. What a match we are seeing. We are already at the 10-minute mark of this match. Actually, we're at the 15-minute mark of this match as Windham hits another West Texas lariat. This time Morocco goes down and stays down. Windham this time is going to go for the death jump. He's going to take the gamble. And on a roll of 8, he connects. And Morocco is down and stays down. Windham now has got the blackjack claw locked on. Windham goes with the blackjack claw, and he will force the submission on a roll of 6 or lower. But on a roll of 7, Morocco is able to escape. Morocco makes his escape. Windham still in control. He is going to pitch Morocco out of the ring once again. Out to the arena floor we go. And this time Morocco once again wins the brawl on the arena floor. And on a roll of 4, that puts Morocco in control. And he's going to go for the Hawaiian Hammer. That's his finisher. It is a +2 finisher. So the pin roll here is a 7 or lower. And on a roll of 3, he got him. How about that? A fine, fine match as Windham and Morocco both finish that match with 4 fatigue tokens. But it is Morocco who gets the win with the Hawaiian Hammer. And it is Don Morocco who will go on to face Mr. Perfect Curt Hennig for the Atlantic Wrestling Federation Championship. Wow, what a great match to open the card. How do you time the match, Dave? Well, I just looked at the YouTube timer on my live stream. It's all I did. We're at 22 minutes, 20 seconds now of broadcasting, and I spent about 4 or 5 minutes introducing things. So that was actually, in real time, close to a 20-minute match, which by wrestling standards, the 20-minute match is kind of the standard for a very competitive battle. And now James J. Dillon is not at all excited about the outcome of that match, but we'll see him again tonight when he brings the Horsemen, Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard, into Orlando to challenge for the Tag Team Championship. But right now we are going to go to our next singles match, which will be for the #1 contenders position at the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. And these two guys actually do wrestle here in the Atlantic Wrestling Federation, but by virtue of their success, they have climbed the ladder to become the #1 and #2 contenders to the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. Of course, those rankings were released before Dusty Rhodes lost the AWF Championship to Curt Hennig. So Hennig now holds the territory belt, but Rhodes and Stevens are going at it today. Stevens is your Dixie heavyweight champion, who is the secondary titleist in the AWF. But the winner of this match, this all-important battle, will get the next opportunity to challenge Ric Flair for the ultimate prize, the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. And here we go. Once again, we are tied on the opening initiative rolls. But with a roll of 1, we're instead going to go to the interview segment piece of this, and we'll have something happen before the match rather than the face to the mat booklet. We are going to go to the ring announcer card featuring Gary Michael Capetta, the famous ring announcer of WCW fame. He was one of the first out of the ring people to get involved with Legends of Wrestling. This card dates all the way back to 2005. And we will see what happens on the Gary Michael Capetta ring announcer card. Dusty Rhodes is the babyface. Ray Stevens is the heel in this match. And on a roll of 5, the heel attacks his opponent before Capetta finishes the introductions. The heel rolls on level 2 offense. So we've seen all kinds of shenanigans here tonight, and it is Ray Stevens who gets the drop on Rhodes. And right away, Ray Stevens is on the offensive. Ray the Crippler, very tough man out of San Francisco. And it is Stevens who is going to attempt the drop kick. He is going to need a choice roll to connect on this. He will need an 8 or lower to be successful. And on a roll of 2, he hits it. But Dusty Rhodes fires right back. Dusty Rhodes gets the reversal, and he comes back and whips Ray Stevens into the ropes. Into the ropes goes Stevens, coming off with a roll of 4. And that is the opponent gets into position for a back body drop, but you grab him and hit him with an awesome pile driver. So Dusty Rhodes drops his head too soon, and Ray Stevens makes him pay the price, picking him up and slamming him down headfirst onto the canvas. And it is Stevens now who's just going to bite the face of Dusty Rhodes. Goodness gracious, he is starting things off nasty. Rhodes is not very happy about that. Rhodes grabs Stevens by the arm and whips him into the turnbuckle. Stevens, like Morocco, is a C-rated performer at the turnbuckle. And on a roll of 9, that's the double specialty move. You come off the turnbuckle with a big specialty move, but the opponent tries a specialty move of his own. Both wrestlers go down. The wrestler with the better turnbuckle rating recovers first, and that is Dusty Rhodes. And it will be Rhodes on level 3 offense. And he is going to go for a death jump. Rhodes goes up to the top turnbuckle for a death jump. And on a roll of 7, he nails it. Flying forearm off of the top turnbuckle. Stevens is down, and Dusty is in control. Dusty now is going to go right to the figure 4 leg lock. Right to the figure 4 leg lock. Stevens is not going to submit. He's able to work his way over to the ropes. But the damage has been done, and Rhodes has taken control after what you would really have to call an unsuccessful attempt at a pre-match attack by Ray Stevens. Dusty now is going to drop the big elbow. Big elbow drop. Here's another cover from Dusty. Stevens kicks out again, but that costs him another point of fatigue as the cheers, Dusty, 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 coming out of the crowd. We've got all kinds of support for both these men. Ray the Crippler is tough. Ray is the GSW Eastern champ in Big Paulie's world of sports sims. What does GSW stand for? Golden State Wrestling? Golden State Wrestling, probably. Ray Stevens and Jimmy Snuka had a feud, but Dusty Rhodes is in control here, and he is going to pitch Stevens out of the ring. And immediately we go to the ringside chart. And it is on a roll of 5. Both these men are A-rated brawlers. And on a roll of 5, a wild brawler erupts, and both wrestlers will roll disqualification. Grand Slam Wrestling. Thank you, Big Paulie. Will Dusty be disqualified? On a roll of 10, he will not. How about Stevens? Stevens will not be disqualified. Now we roll 1 die to see who wins the brawl. And we will give the odd roll to Dusty and the even roll to Ray Stevens. And on a roll of 6, it is Ray Stevens who wins the brawl. And Stevens is going to go right to the crippling pile driver. That's his level 0 finisher. He goes for the pin, but Dusty kicks right out of that. But these two guys are going right to their finishers in the early going. This is a very competitive match. Both these men want to have their shot at Ric Flair. And Stevens now bites the face again. Follows that up with an elbow drop to the throat. That's going to require a choice roll. And that is going to require a roll of 9 or lower. And on a roll of 7, that is a successful elbow drop to the throat. But Dusty is able to roll out of that. He only got part of it. And Dusty fires back and is going to go with another whip to the ropes. Off the ropes comes Stevens. But on a roll of 11, it is the running double clothesline. Both men are down. And in this case, their ropes ratings are even. So Dusty takes control, and he has the opportunity to do some more damage, as he is once again going to pitch Ray Stevens out of the ring. And here we go. Will we see some shenanigans? On a roll of 2, we will not. So we're going to roll on the standard out of the ring chart with Ray Stevens. But on a roll of 11, that is a steel chair. That is a foreign object for Dusty Rhodes. He wails on Stevens. Will he be disqualified? No. So Dusty Rhodes is now in control at level 3 offense. And he is going to go with a Stardust pile driver. Down hard to the canvas goes Ray Stevens. A chair shot and a pile driver, and Dusty's going to go for the cover. Stevens count of 1. Kicks out at 2, but Stevens now has that crucial 3rd fatigue token. And Dusty is in charge in this situation. Dusty now is going to pitch Stevens out of the ring again. To the arena floor we go. No more shenanigans on this occasion. And on a roll of 10, that's another steel chair shot. Dusty Rhodes bending the rules and really taking liberties here. And on a roll of 5 or lower, he may be disqualified. The referee calls for the bell. The referee has seen enough. And on the second steel chair shot, Dusty Rhodes is going to be disqualified. But honestly, I can't blame the referee. That was 2 in a row. Steel chair shots. The referee gave him lenience on the first one. And on the second go-round, it is Ray Stevens who takes the steel chair shot, but is the benefactor of the victory by way of disqualification. Boos come down from Steve Tower. Steve Tower wants the American Dream to be elected president, and maybe he needs to take a steel chair to both of the two bozos who are running for that office right now. Dusty's no longer with us, but the world would be a better place with Dusty at the helm without a doubt. So Ray Stevens is your winner by disqualification, and it will be Stevens moving on to face Ric Flair. That match will be 2 weeks from now at the September Heartland pay-per-view broadcast, which will be entitled Turn of the Century. That will be the Halloween Havoc number 100. Now, the Halloween Havoc match cards in my federation are, compare these to the old Clash of the Champions, the old sort of second-tier pay-per-views. In Heartland Championship Wrestling, we have 4 major pay-per-views a year. We have the Dawn of Destiny pay-per-view at the beginning of the baseball season. We have the Eve of Destruction at New Year's Eve. Then in the summertime, we have Freedom Festival that falls on the 4th of July. And in October, we have our fall spectacular called the Filsinger Cup, the Tournament of Champions, where every champion from the previous 12 months is entered into a tournament, and whoever wins that tournament at the Tournament of Champions is crowned the Filsinger Cup winner for the year. So that is our most prestigious title of the year. But in September, in the off months, we have these smaller pay-per-views, and this will be number 100 of the Halloween Havoc pay-per-views. So we're going to call that Turn of the Century, and the main event at Turn of the Century will be the Nature Boy Ric Flair defending the NWA World Heavyweight Championship against this man, tonight's winner, the Crippler, Ray Stevens. Should be a great match. But now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for your main event of the evening. And SGG Replay said it best. We want to see Rhodes Flair. But you want to shot at the Nature Boy, you got to earn it. And there may be a conspiracy theory floated that perhaps Ric Flair greased the palms of the officials to avoid seeing Dusty Rhodes at the pay-per-view. One never knows now, does one? Here comes J.J. Dillon, leading his challengers into the ring, the team of Tully Blanchard and Arn Anderson, the Horsemen, one of the great tag teams in wrestling history. But their opponents on this occasion are formidable indeed, as Precious Paul Ellering comes to the ring with his men Hawk and Animal, the Road Warriors. The Road Warriors, longtime AWF Tag Team Champions. And it is going to be a big deal if anybody is going to dethrone the Road Warriors. But Arn and Tully are here tonight, ready to take their opportunity at the belts. Under the watchful eye of James J. Dillon, But Paul Ellering has got his eye on Dylan. He's got his eye on his men, the Road Warriors. And this will be nothing short of spectacular in tonight's main event. All right, here we go. And on the opening roll, it will be Road Warrior Hawk starting things off for the Road Warriors against Arn Anderson. And the opening initiative roll. Finally, we didn't get a tie. This is our first televised match that we don't have to consult with one of our ancillary aides. And on a roll of 6, it is Arn Anderson who takes control from the opening lockup, and he takes a hip toss. Over and down to the canvas goes Hawk. Very nice off the opening lockup. Anderson using his technique and his leverage to get Hawk up and down to the canvas. And Anderson quickly takes control and goes right to the eye rake with the bootlaces. A dirty move by Arn Anderson. Hawk is not happy about that one little bit, and Hawk immediately gets to his feet and he drops Arn Anderson, attempts to drop Arn Anderson with a neck breaker. That is going to be a choice roll. And that's going to require a roll of 8 or lower for Hawk to connect. And on a roll of 7, he drops Anderson with that neck breaker. Hawk very unhappy about that shot to the eyes. Hawk now in control. Anderson's going to try and get over and make the tag. And on a roll of 6, he gets there. So Anderson saw that look in Hawk's eyes and knew that it was time to beat a hasty retreat. So he made a business decision and tagged out to Tully Blanchard. And Blanchard comes into the ring, and he goes right to the hair pull takedown. I'm not sure how that works against Hawk. Maybe he caught him by the back of the neck and tried taking him down. And now it is Hawk who reaches over. He can't get to Animal, and Tully Blanchard keeps in control. Blanchard goes with a body slam, picks up Hawk and drops him down onto the canvas. Hawk still can't get over and make the tag. Blanchard stays in control. Blanchard now with a boot to the groin. My goodness, the Horsemen are pulling no punches here tonight, and Hawk is down, and he is very unhappy about that. Blanchard now in control, and he goes with a rope burn on the top rope. Blanchard stays in control and goes with a knee smash, but that's a power move, and the power in this match belongs to Hawk. So Hawk avoids the knee smash, comes right back and lifts Tully Blanchard up high into the air and slams him down with a gorilla press slam. Down to the canvas hard goes Blanchard, and it is Blanchard's turn to roll out of harm's way and make the tag back to Double A. Hawk has gotten the best of both the Horsemen here, and he's going to tag out to Animal. And we'll see what Animal and Anderson can do together in the ring. And this time, oh my gosh, another initiative roll. This time it's tied. This time it is Animal's favor. And we are going to go back to the face to the match book. And on a roll of 35 in a tag team match, what's going to happen here? Is Animal mean? He is as mean as they come. He gouges the opponent and then gouges the opponent's partner. How about that? Animal with fighting fire with fire. Eye gouges both the Horsemen. James J. Dillon is complaining furiously to the referee, and the referee's just going to let that go. And it is Animal now with a blatant chokehold on Anderson. Blatant chokehold. Anderson backed into the corner. What's Animal going to do now? He goes with a high back body drop. Anderson hits the canvas hard. He can't make it to the corner for the tag. And it is another scoop slam, and down hard to the canvas goes Anderson. This time Anderson does get over to make the tag. So the Horsemen are keeping the action close to their own corner, tagging in and out effectively, in spite of the fact that the Road Warriors have pretty much controlled most of the action here. Blanchard comes in after Animal with a punch to the face. That was a bad idea. Animal fires back and grabs Tully Blanchard in an armbar. Didn't think we'd see a whole lot of wrestling holds in this match, but Animal is able to take Blanchard down to one knee. And Anderson now with Animal now with a back body drop on Blanchard, taking Blanchard down to the canvas. And it is Blanchard making the tag. The Horsemen have a lot of defensive tag rolls on their cards, so we'll see them get in and out of the ring often. And each time you come into the ring after a defensive tag, the new man in the ring gets to take control at level 1 offense. And here's Anderson trying for the back suplex. That's a power move, and that's not going to work. Animal puts an end to that by knocking Anderson to the canvas. Jumping elbow drop comes down hard across the chest of Anderson. And Anderson has been stunned. Animal follows up, and he's going to go for the camel clutch. This is going to require a choice chart roll of 8 or lower to connect on that. And on a roll of 7, the camel clutch is in place. And he's going to try and force a submission out of Anderson here. Anderson will not submit, but that hold took something out of Anderson. Tag to Animal, tag to Hawk, and we're going to see a double team now. But on a roll of 9, it is Animal who will hold Anderson, and Hawk delivers the running forearm smash, and Hawk is in the ring and in control. He didn't get all of that one as Anderson was able to kind of struggle free. Hawk is going to whip Anderson into the ropes. Off the ropes comes Anderson. And on a roll of 6, Hawk drops down and Anderson comes off the opposite rope. And this time, on a roll of 11 off the ropes, it is a big specialty move from Hawk, a flying shoulder tackle. As Hawk came off the opposite rope and delivered that flying shoulder, and down goes Anderson to the mat hard. Anderson now in trouble. Road Warriors are going to go for the Doomsday device. It's a little too early to try that, but a flying clothesline from Hawk puts Anderson down to the canvas. Here's a cover. Anderson with a kick out, but he is in rough shape here as Animal tags back into the match. We're going to see another double team. And this time on a roll of 7, it is a bone-crunching double clothesline from the Road Warriors. Anderson is down. Animal now in control. And he is going to pitch Anderson out of the ring. And here we go. Out to ringside. Both these men are masters of their craft on the arena floor. And on a roll of 4, it is Double A who gets Animal by the leg and rams him leg first into the steel ring steps. And Anderson has been stunned. Here's an opportunity for Double A to do some damage. Back in the ring, he is going to go for a DDT. And he drops Animal with the DDT. Here's a cover. But Animal kicks right out of that one. Anderson now in control after the DDT. Here's a big Anderson spine buster. And Animal goes down hard once again. Tag is made to Blanchard. Blanchard comes in and just goes with a rope burn once again, burning the eyes of Animal on the top rope. I think he does that more to frustrate his opponents than do any real damage. Blanchard is going to follow that up with the arm bar. Animal is going to try and power his way out of the arm bar, and he is going to counter with a whip to the ropes. Blanchard comes off the ropes, and on a roll of 8, it is a big shoulder tackle from Animal that puts Blanchard down to the canvas. Quickly, the tag is made to Hawk, and we've got the 2 fresh men in the match as the fans are chanting LOD, LOD, LOD. And it is Hawk coming in. And a big double clothesline from both men, and that took the starch out of Blanchard in a big way. Blanchard is down, and now Hawk is in control. Hawk with an over-the-shoulder backbreaker. Down goes Blanchard. Hawk follows that up with another whip to the ropes. Off the ropes comes Blanchard. Roll of 10, and that's the running double clothesline. Both of these men are B-rated performers off the ropes, so the control stays with the wrestler on offense. Hawk is now in charge with a chance to do some more damage. And he is going to pitch Blanchard out of the ring. Here we go again. On a roll of 4, once again, it is Blanchard who takes charge. He grabs Hawk and slams him shoulder first into the steel ring post at ringside, and Hawk is now in some trouble. Blanchard is going to continue the fight outside the ring. Are we going to see some shenanigans? On a roll of 7, we don't yet have shenanigans. And on a roll of 6, it is Hawk who wins the battle on the arena floor. Is that a disqualification roll? Yes. Hawk has to roll for a disqualification, but on a roll of 7, the referee is going to let him fight. And Hawk wins the fight this time. And as action moves back into the ring, it will be Hawk in control. And Hawk is going to go for a gut wrench suplex. Up, over, and down, hard to the canvas. Goes Tully Blanchard. Can Blanchard escape and make the tag? No, he cannot. Hawk is going to tag out to Animal. We're going to see a double team, and it is another running double clothesline from the Road Warriors, putting Blanchard back down to the canvas. Animal now is going to go for the a big power slam of his own, and he is going to make the cover. Count of 1, count of 2, and it is going to be Anderson coming in for the pin save. And on a count of on a roll of 7, he is not able to make the pin save. And on a count of and a roll of 8, Tully Blanchard is able to kick out. That was a very close call for the Horsemen. Anderson was not able to make the pin save, but Blanchard just kicked out at the before the referee could hit the 3. And a sigh of relief from J.J. Dillon at ringside. Animal now with a power slam. Puts Blanchard back down to the canvas. Makes another cover. Count of 1. And on a count of 2, he is able to kick out, but that is the 3rd fatigue token for Tully. And it is time for James J. Dillon to do some of his nonsense. Back we go to the manager interference chart. I'm surprised that they haven't given a formal manager chart to James J. Dillon, but he got a wrestler's card. So we are going to use the official Filsinger manager interference chart for this roll. And on a roll of 7, the manager distracts the opponent, who gets angry and chases the manager out of the ring. So Animal is coming after James J. Dillon at ringside. Meanwhile, you recover and leave the ring to get the opponent. The result is a brawl outside of the ring, and this will be an odd-even roll to see who wins the brawl. Animal will get the odd roll, Blanchard will get the even roll, and the result is a 1, which means Animal wins the brawl at ringside. Hawk, meanwhile, decks James J. Dillon. James J. Dillon is out of commission. He is no longer able to interfere in this match, and Animal is in the ring and in control. And he is going to go for another out-of-the-ring roll. My goodness. These two teams are not interested in going back to the ring. And this time we are going to see some shenanigans as we go to the out-of-the-ring again chart. We are going to see some ringside mayhem. This is a custom chart that I built all by myself. We'll see how you guys like it. And let's see what's going to happen on the ringside mayhem. It is a roll of 9. And on a roll of 9, it is outside interference. One of the wrestlers brings in outside help. Let's see who's coming to bring the help. In this case, it is on a roll of 1 to 2, the babyface brings help. And on a roll of 3 to 6, the heel brings help. Obviously, the heel is more likely to have outside interference. And on a roll of 5, it will be the heel bringing the help. And it will be the third member of the Horsemen, Barry Windham, coming in on the outside interference chart. What is Windham going to do? The roll is a 2. Your ally attacks the opponent from behind. Windham attacks Animal from behind. Both of you double team the opponent with a deadly specialty move. Add 1 to the opponent's pin rating. Roll for a disqualification, 8. So this is likely to be a disqualification against the Horsemen. Roll 5, and here we go, the roll of 8. Yes, that is a disqualification. So the Horsemen are disqualified for the outside interference, but they have double teamed on Animal, and we have now a 3-on-2 brawl on the arena floor. As Windham is teaming up with Blanchard and Anderson. The brawl is on the arena floor, and we are going to go to the gut check ratings for this situation. So the gut check roll is again one of my own creations. It is a roll of D12. I use D12 because nobody respects the D12, and from the D12 I subtract the cage rating and the fatigue tokens to see at what level the gut check is is in force. And in this case, we have both Hawk and Animal, Blanchard and Anderson and Windham, and we'll let Paul Ellering get involved here because he's not one to shy away from combat. James J. Dillon has already been knocked out, so he is not going to get into the fracas. So we have got a 6-man brawl here between the Horsemen, Ellering, and the Road Warriors. Then what we'll do is total up all the rolls for each team, and that's how we will determine who wins the brawl. Ellering rolls a 3. His cage rating is a 5, so that makes Ellering -2. He's no help. Hawk rolls an 11. That's a great roll. He's a 2 on the cage, no fatigue tokens, so Hawk gets a 9, and that is going to make all the difference in deciding this brawl, as Hawk is just cleaning house. Animal has a couple fatigue tokens. His roll is a 2, and he is a -4 because of the cage rating and the fatigue tokens. So that's a -2 for Animal. And the total gut check roll for the Legion of Doom is a 7. Now we'll see if the Horsemen can beat the 7. And of course we'll use the dark die for the roll. We're getting the cry of Dusty Dusty from the fans. Will Dusty Rhodes come in and make his presence felt? Blanchard rolls a 6. He's got a cage rating of 2 and 3 fatigue tokens, so that gives him a total of +1. And I hope I'm not boring you guys with this, but this is how I resolve these gang fights that happen. Anderson. Oh, Anderson rolls a 10. He's got a cage rating of 3 and 2 fatigue tokens, so that makes his total 5. Let's see what Windham can do. Can Windham be the difference maker in this brawl? Windham rolls an 8. He has no fatigue. Actually, he did have 4 fatigue tokens from his match earlier. We'll subtract 1 since he's had a rest. So Windham has 3 fatigue tokens and a cage rating of 2. 8 minus 5 makes 3. And the total is 9. So the Horsemen are going to win the brawl. But the difference is only 9-7. It's only a 2-point difference. And that's not enough to sustain any injuries. So we'll say that Anderson and Windham, with their total of 8, are duking it out with Hawk on the double team. Hawk is fighting back against both men, and it is Blanchard who is able to get a cheap shot in on Animal. Since Animal is the low man on the totem pole, Blanchard with a cheap shot on Animal that stuns Animal before the referee is able to break things up. So the end result of this contest is a disqualification. By disqualification, the Road Warriors are your winners, and they are still the Atlantic Wrestling Federation Tag Team Champions. But we now have a grudge match situation between between Animal and Tully Blanchard, and that will be a match that we'll book that for the pay-per-view. So we have a pay-per-view grudge match between Animal and Tully Blanchard, and we will have the Horsemen at ringside. And because the fans have demanded it, we will have Dusty Rhodes alongside Hawk in the corner of the Legion of Doom against Tully Blanchard, who will be seconded by Arn Anderson and Barry Windham. So that will set up another big match at the Turn of the Century pay-per-view on September 19th, brought to you by Heartland Championship Wrestling. All right, fans, that is all for today's wrestling. We are done here. Thank you so much for everybody who checked us out. Lively group here today in the chat room. Steve Tower, always a pleasure. Thomas Morgan, very vocal with his cheering. SDG Replays was here. Big Polly was here. And quite a good crowd tonight, so thank you all for joining us here for tonight's episode of Heartland Championship Wrestling. So from the Dave Cave, this is Dave Little signing off, saying that's our stream, and I am out of here.